Welcome back. You're in the C-Space studio here at CES 2023. I'm James Kotecki, joined by Carly Zipp of Amazon Ads. You are the Global Director of Brand Marketing at Amazon Ads, and we're so glad to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Are some people surprised by the scope of this? Because they're using Amazon products, and there is advertising obviously integrated into that. But is it something that people are aware of sometimes, or maybe they're a little bit surprised by the scope of it?
I think they're surprised pleasantly, but the interesting thing that I love about Amazon is, unlike some of the social platforms or entertainment platforms where you are there as a consumer to just consume content, when you're on Amazon, like, you're primed to shop and be marketed to. So once that value proposition comes
to shop,
there you go.
Do you use that intentionally?
In there.
Yeah.
So I think people are pleasantly surprised, and when you put it all together, what's under the Amazon umbrella and the one Amazon approach that we try to take, it makes sense.
During the pandemic, Amazon was kind of a lifeline for a lot of people. It helped a lot of people stay home and get the kinds of things that they needed. How are you thinking about the future of work right now? It seems like everybody's got a different vision for that, and obviously the amount of time that people spend on Amazon as they go throughout whatever this new shape of their lives and work is going to have it's going to be a big determining factor of the success of Amazon Ads. So then, how do you think about how people's lives are changing and rebalancing in this kind of wild west of, are we home, are we out, or what are we doing?
What I love about Amazon as a company, and as I mentioned to you earlier, I've been here a very short amount of time, but I've seen that the company, even though we have physical footprints in so many different cities, there's really an acceptance of remote work, an acceptance of work-life balance, because I think we've seen how successful and actually how necessary and vital Amazon has been in times of peril. And so I really, I see the future of work as being much more about a strong work-life balance. I'm a mom, I have 2 young kids. Being at places like CES are amazing, but I'm also missing out on things with my kids. So the fact that I can have screaming kids running around while I'm, leading meetings or able to connect with customers from the comfort of my home, I just envision that for my team, and I want that for them, and I want them to experience that as well.
Let's talk about leadership principles.
Yeah.
Amazon has these leadership principles. What do those mean, and what's your favorite?
Yeah, so we have 16 leadership principles, just a few, and they really guide us and kind of how we think about our business, how we think about interacting with one another, how we think about leadership in general. And for me, I really try to lean into certain principles at certain situations. So I think at a time that we're in right now, 2023 is a year of scaling back. There's been a lot of investments that have made, the economic, the tides are shifting a little bit. So one of our principles is frugality. And frugality is not always the sexiest principle, not always the sexiest term, but I will say is something that keeps us safe as a brand and really allows us to really think differently with what we are tasked to do, and how can we make things go farther and think about things and innovate and do things differently, because it's really easy to just kind of rinse and repeat when you're in the same economic times or things are really great. But I think the real challenge, and when you really see the grit, and the grit in my team that I love seeing, is when things are a little tighter and you have to really embrace frugality.
Your ad partners may also be thinking about frugality as well. They have a lot of choices on where they spend their money. What's your pitch to them for why they should continue to work with Amazon Ads?
So I think we really, we have trust and efficiency that we really lean into as kind of like staples of our brand. And I definitely think in economic times that are a little bit harder, you want to work with a brand that you can trust, that transparency is there, that trust is there as a brand, and that provides, efficient but exciting solutions for them.
We're here at CES in person. It's 2023. How does it feel to be doing this in person?
It feels amazing.
And how many CESs have you been? I know you're new at Amazon, but how many CESs have you been?
I have been to 14 CESs, which
Congrats.
is like probably dating myself quite a bit. But I think this is the most exciting one, because we're back. Nobody's like worried about, needing to pull out. I think people are being safe and comfortable at their own level. But for me, what's most exciting is seeing my team in person, seeing how they work together and interact with each other and with customers, and hearing from customers. Like, it's great to really hear from customers and understand what their pain points are and how we can meet them.
2023 will be the year of blank.
Innovation.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, Carly Zipp of Amazon Ads, thanks so much for joining us here in the C-Space studio.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us. I'm James Kotecki. It's CES 2023. The conversations continue here in the C-Space studio. Keep it here.